Welcome to Right Side Trading, where you can learn how to trade on the right side with confidence. Today is August 13th, 2016. It's a Saturday morning at about 7:45 a.m. And I am here to talk about the weekly market review. But before we do so, let me direct you to the disclaimer page on our website. And this area in particular is what I want to highlight, which states that our products and services are provided solely for educational purposes. Our written and verbal statements, including those provided on our website by our staff members, testimony individuals, affiliates, and clients, are personal judgments and should be regarded as such. These written and verbal statements do not constitute investment advice. The government does want us to let you know that we are not licensed financial advisors, so please, before you make any trading or investment decisions, make sure you seek the advice of licensed financial advisors. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, let me take you to the market for this week. And we'll go to the weekly chart real quickly. We see right here that everything in the market is doing just fine. You know, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about whether or not this market is going up, if it's a bubble, how some big hedge fund managers are waiting for it to crash. And I have nothing to say against these hedge fund managers because I have to be honest, they have more money than I do. But the one thing I have done is learn how to read the charts, and the charts can tell you things that it's so clear for even the average person to see. Okay, and right now what we're looking at is even if the bubble was to bust, the chart will show us when that time comes. Okay, but for right now, nothing is showing that just yet. Okay, nothing is showing that. If anything, what we see is a market that is showing signs that it's trying to go even higher and higher and higher. So what do I mean? We already know that the market has already broken out above this range right here, which is a very positive sign of a break to the high side. We could see the market come back down to this area and retest it before it goes even higher, so that's a possibility. However, that's not what's happening right now. And the fact that we continue to make higher highs is a very positive thing. If we zoom in right here, we see that the market has gone, you know, this was the high over here. It went higher, okay? So from here to there, higher again, and then now it's even higher this week. So here is a stock that is showing us that we are going higher and higher and higher. And with the exception of this 1 month, 1 week right here, where we had actual lower low, everything has kind of been higher lows as well, okay? And so the fact that this week we had a higher high and a higher low is a very positive thing. Regardless of the fact that we had a doji sign, which is indecision, just means that sellers and buyers could not win. They basically came to a standstill this week. But the fact is, you look at the candlestick signals, and it's showing that we have higher highs, higher lows. And until that changes and start going lower highs and lower lows, we expect this market to continue going higher. The same thing can be said for the rest of the major indexes. And if we look at the Nasdaq, the Nasdaq actually put in an all-time high. Let's see. Oh, let me do this right here. Let me go to the price level. If we look at the price level right here, okay, the Nasdaq seems to be putting in an all-time high. Let's see, if I'm not mistaken, right here was the highest high we ever had on the Nasdaq, and that was 5231.94. And right here, oh, we were so close. So I take that back. 5231.94, and this is 5238. Okay, so yes, we have now had, not only do we have an all-time high, but also all-time high in close in record. So this week was a very good week for Nasdaq. You know, probably because of all the technology stocks that was doing really well. We have stocks like Apple that did well. Like Apple is bouncing off the bottom, so these are signs that this market is not going down anymore. And if you think about it, you know, Apple has already had this move to the downside already. Okay, if we look from here to there, I mean, that's a pretty significant chunk right there. Let's do this right here. You know, that was a 33% drop in Apple. So Apple's already witnessed its correction, its bear markets, just like it did right here when it did the same thing too, just like it did right here when it did the same thing too. So the fact that it's now bouncing back up, I mean, people need to stop worrying about this market going down and start playing what they see in front of them. Okay, Netflix, same thing too. Oops, Netflix, same thing too. Okay. Netflix has had its pull down, all right, 80% drop over there. This one was kind of like about 20-something% drop. If you look at this right here, from the high to the low, right here, from the high to this low right here, I mean, that was a 40% drop in Netflix as well. And now, again, Netflix is at this level where it is ready to start going higher, okay? It's at that level now where it's trying to start going higher again. So people need to start worrying about this drop and play what is in front of them. Google, if we look at Google, Google has been going up, okay? Google had this pullback right here, all right, of about 18-20%. Google had this pullback right here. Let's see, right here, about 16% correction, okay? And the interesting thing now, oops, let's do this again. The interesting thing now about Google, let's go to the 20-year monthly chart. The interesting thing now about Google on the monthly chart is that Google is now breaking out after, you know, our correction that we had in 2015. And these are just signs that, you know, these markets are trying to go up. And you can see that in Google. Amazon, same thing too, okay? Amazon had its pullback back here. You know, it had another pullback right here of about 30%. And then now it's breaking out right there. And it's just every time Amazon breaks out, okay, what we see is months. You know, we have at least 9 months of a rally minimum, okay, when it broke out over here, all right? We see Amazon go up for about 20 months, okay, when it broke out over here, all right? Amazon went 15 months of a breakout. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm talking about here. So now that it has this breakout, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4 months. At a minimum, the next 5 months, if not longer, we can expect Amazon to continue going higher. But these are all stocks that are just doing well. Even Alibaba, okay, we covered that. Look at Alibaba, all right. The major downtrend that it had is now broken that, and it's trying to go higher. If you see this on a weekly chart, it makes it even clearer that, you know, Alibaba had a double bottom. It's breaking out, going higher. Of course, it had great earnings, you know, and now it's just trying to go even higher and higher and higher. So there's a lot of things that are showing that, and that's why the Nasdaq is doing really well. We go to the Russell on the weekly and the monthly chart. Let's go to the monthly chart first. We can see that Russell already had his pullback as well, okay, when it came down from here. And this is all the correction that we had in 2015. You can see it came down to about 27%. Russell already had his bear market. Now it's bouncing back up above that, okay? Interesting thing is like it's already broken below this trend line, and now it's ready to break out. And the cool thing is like we're 1, 2, 3, 4 months, you know, I mean, the market really bottomed back in February, okay? So we're not too late to get into these markets if we just get rid of our biases and trade what is in front of us, okay? Here's the Dow Jones, where Dow Jones is also breaking out as well, okay? And now it's beginning. This is literally the second month of it breaking out, or at least it's in the second month right now. And we can look at these right here and say, hey, even the Dow, you know, had its own correction back in 2015. If we go from here to down there where it had its low, that was a 15%, and anything more than 15% is a correction, okay? So the last one is the Dow Jones Transportation, and we can see as well too that the Dow Jones Transportation has had its own bear market as well, 30% drop, okay? And even it now is showing signs that it's trying to come back up again, all right? And so the fact that it broke out, we see some reversal signals, one of the most strongest reversal signals that we know, which we call the right side candle. We see happening right here in this vicinity right here, and now it's showing like it's ready to go even higher. So there's so many things that are showing us that this market is ready to go higher. I'm even going to go take you to, like, you know, the world market, which I don't usually do that much, but just to show you that it's not just in the United States, it's around the world. And we're actually going to be making a video that goes in depth about each and every one of these markets, so you can see that. So stay tuned to that. Contact us via our YouTube channel to find out more about that. When we come out with that, we'll let you guys know. But here's the Canadian market, okay? And the Canadian market has witnessed its own, and now is ready to start going back up. We can see the same thing happening in the Canadian market. All right, and I'm trying to show you things that is happening globally. I'm trying to show you things that's happening globally. Markets are breaking out. Market are at bottoms reversing. Markets are breaking out at the top. Okay, the Russian market that was like the laggard for the very longest time, okay, is now showing signs that it's trying to break out as well too. It has come down to this bottom right here, okay, and now it's breaking out. That's the Russian market. We've seen the Canadian market. We've seen the Russian market. Now U.S. market is doing the same thing too. We go to the Brazilian market. We can see the same thing happening over there as well, okay. Here is the Brazilian market, and it's now beginning to go up. Now, the Brazilian market is still lagging because it dropped more than anybody else. However, we see that it's showing signs that it's ready to go up. If you zoom in to this particular area right here, one of the strongest signs is the fact that it rallied, took a break, and then now is rallying back up again, okay? So we see this rally from down here to up there, all right? And now it's going higher. If you look at it from this bottom right here to this top right there, that's over 100% move that is made in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, okay? These are signs of stocks, signs that are showing on the chart that this market is ready to go higher, all right? And so that's the Brazilian market. You can see this a little bit more clearly when you go to the weekly chart, okay? Very, very clear. You know, market went up, pulled back, took a break, you know, same reversed, and now it's even going higher. And that's just always the beginning step of a new trend going higher, is you see something like that, or you see something like this. You see it rally, it will pull back, and then it'll start taking off from there, okay? And so those are very positive signs that we see on the Brazilian market. If you look back, again, you know, you see where it tried to rally, but it couldn't go higher. Instead, it came down. If you look at this right here, it rallied. Instead of going higher, it came back down. Whereas this, went up, pulled back, now it's going higher. Those are signs of markets that are ready to go higher. Okay, we can look at the Taiwan market. This is on the weekly chart. Same concept, double bottom, breaking out. All right, very good things. We can go to China. Same thing. We can see pull up, pull back down, breaking higher. These are all just stuff that is happening around the world. Okay, we can look at the Indian market. Pulls up, goes up, pulls back, breaks higher. Okay, so we are seeing markets that are breaking up higher and higher and higher. All right, you can come down here. You can put your line right here. Let's do this again. We'll take it from this right here. All right, and we can see how the Indian market broke out of that, retested it, and now is up for the races. Okay, so the Indian market, the Chinese market, the Australian market, the Taiwan market, the Brazilian market, the Russian market, the Canadian market, the American market, all these are showing signs that it's ready to go higher. And we see some very strong stocks that are also doing the same thing, either making all-time highs, breaking all-time highs, you know, setting records, or bouncing off the lows. You know, even stocks like Twitter, okay? Twitter, of all stocks, is beginning to do the same thing too, okay? Look at Twitter at the bottom. We did a video on Twitter a while back, and anybody that's been in Twitter has not regretted that, okay, if you're still in, all right? Facebook, same thing. I mean, these are just all stocks that are just showing signs that it's ready to go higher. So I leave you with this. The market is showing signs that it's trying to go higher, okay? Don't fight the trend. Do not fight the trend. When it's time that it's going to go lower, we'll let you know about that, and we'll also talk about that. We said it back in 2015 when the market was looking very unhealthy, and we said this is not looking good, and we kept that up until March of 2016, okay? So we were bearish. We had no bullish position whatsoever from July of 2015 up until March of 2015. Now, we didn't catch the absolute bottom in February, but a month later, we were already in there, and we've been singing that ever since then. If you've been in the market since March of 2016, if you've been in there since March of 2016, let's see here, March of 2016, all right. This was, let's see, oops, wrong one. So let's go back here, and we'll do this again. All right, so this is March of 2016. Look at what you would have done. So somewhere around here was when we saw that this market was not going down anymore. And even if you got in from over here, okay, you'd have been up about 6% on your market. But the point that I'm trying to make here is the fact that this market, yes, we didn't catch the absolute bottom down here in February, but by March, we already started seeing that things were reversing. How did we see that? How did we go against that when everything was scary and everything was showing that it was going to go down? The Brexit took place, and we said, no, this market is still looking like it's trying to go higher. These are all signs that the market is trying to go higher. So we'll leave you with that. And as always, remember to trade on the right side with confidence.